صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على. أسعد الله أيامنا وأيامكم، كل عام وأنتم بخير بمولد الإمام الثامن علي بن موسى الرضا، الإمام الغريب عليه أفضل الصلاة والسلام، وجعل الله وإياكم من زواره ومن الذاكرين له ومن الذين يرزقهم الله شفاعته في الآخرة. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. اللهم صل على محمد سيد المرسلين وخاتم النبيين وحجة رب العالمين، المنتجب في الميثاق، المصطفى في الضلال، المطهر من كل آفة، البرية من كل عيب، المؤمل للنجاة، المرتجى للشفاعة، المفوض إليه دين الله. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك، عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى أخته العقيلة زينب وأخيه أبا الفضل العباس، ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على علي بن موسى الرضا المرتضى، الإمام التقي النقي، وحجتك على من فوق الأرض ومن تحت الثرى، الصديق الشهيد، صلاة كثيرة تامة زاكية متواصلة متواترة مترادفة كأفضل ما صليت على أحد من أوليائك. قال سيدنا ومولانا موسى بن جعفر عليه أفضل الصلاة والسلام: سمعت أبي جعفر بن محمد غير مرة يقول لي: إن عالم آل محمد لفي صلبك وليتني أدركته فإنه سمي أمير المؤمنين. For the hastening appearance of Imam, صاحب العصر والزمان، أرواحنا وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء. loud صلوات. اللهم صل على. For your well-being and the well-being of the Zawar of Ba Abdullah al-Hussein and Ali ibn Musa al-Rida and the holy shrines, another louder salawat. Allahumma salli ala. Imam Ali ibn Musa al-Rida al-Murtada alayhi afdal salati was-salam, our eighth Imam. It is truly a privilege, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be celebrating his joyous birthday once again in this holy place that is named after this Imam, our eighth Imam, Gharib al-Ghuraba, Anis al-Nufus, wa Shams al-Shumus, Ali ibn Musa al-Rida alayhi afdal salati was-salam. On many occasions, the Imam has said to his son, Imam al-Sadiq, to his son, Imam Musa ibn Ja'far, alayhi afdal salati was-salam: Inna alima ali Muhammad lafi sulbika walaytani adraktuhu fa innahu samiyu amir al-mu'minin. The alim, the scholar of Ali Muhammad, is going to be from your lineage, and I wish I could see him as he is named after Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib. Imam Ali ibn Musa al-Rida had a different life. If you listen to this, you find some glimpse of his life. You find that he lived a different time than his previous ancestors. The previous Imams, for example, Imam Hussein, Sayyid al-Shuhada, had to live in a time of a tyrant who openly fought the Imam. And the Imam had to go into war with him, rebel against him. It was open. Bani Umayyah, the Umayyads, they had a different approach. Bani Abbas, the Abbasides, they had a different approach. The Abbasides, they did not fight Ahlul Bayt openly. I just give you a glimpse of how Ma'mun al-Abbasi was. Ma'mun al-Abbasi, the son of Harun al-Abbasi. Harun is also known as, aka as what? Harun al-Rashid. But it's better to call him Harun al-Abbasi because he was not a Rashid. Harun al-Abbasi, he openly fought Imam al-Kadhim. Imam al-Kadhim alayhi afdhalu salati wassalam. And what he did with Imam al-Kadhim, he imprisoned the Imam. He imprisoned Imam al-Kadhim. And Imam al-Kadhim is our 7th Imam. He imprisoned the Imam to the point Imam al-Kadhim alayhi afdhalu salati wassalam, he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a supplication, Ya Rabb al-Alameen, I had enough from this. The one God, the Creator, that separates blood from milk. This is a dua of Imam al-Kadhim alayhi afdhalu salati wassalam. In a lengthy dua, the Imam then says, Khallisni min sijni Harun. Release me from here. And the Imam asked for his early death, Imam al-Kadhim alayhi afdhalu salati wassalam. On the other hand, you find a person who is Ma'mun al-Abbasi. He had a different approach. Ma'mun, what he did was different. He saw that the government under his ruling, the people, that many of them are the followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdhalu salati wassalam, to stabilize the movement, to get them all to fall in line, is that he has to bring Imam Ali ibn Musa Rida into his government and announce to the people that he is my wali al-ahd. And he brought Imam al-Rida alayhi afdhalu salati wassalam to Khurasan, and he forced the Imam to accept either the Khilafah, to which if the Imam said to him, if it was yours, you have no right to give it to me. If it was yours, you have to rule. If it's not yours, then why you have it in the first place? Then he said to the Imam, then don't take the Khilafah. Take the Walayat al-Ahd. That means you're in second in line, the crown prince. And the Imam was forced into that he told the Imam, either that or death. So his approach was different than of his father. Harun al-Abbasi, he presented Imam al-Kadhim openly, and he fought Imam al-Kadhim, and Imam al-Kadhim was tortured. Imam al-Kadhim alayhi afdhalu salati wassalam cannot see his followers. But with Imam al-Rida and Ma'mun thought, well, I brought him into the government, I gave him Walayat al-Ahd, now I get him to reside in the castle, and he is under constant surveillance. Whatever he does, I know about it. Some of the Shia, simple-minded Shia, they thought, well, this is good. Now, our Imam is the ruler with Ma'mun, so this government is partly ours. And the Imam said to Ma'mun, he said, I accept this responsibility with conditions. One of them is that you don't announce that I have any governorship in my hand. That means that I don't collect any tax. I don't appoint anyone. I don't appoint anyone. So I have nothing in my hand. There's no commandment in my hand. I don't get anyone in or out. And some of the Shia, simple-minded Shia, they came to the Imam and they looked at the Imam and he said, look at what's happening now. Your grandfathers, they were all killed in battles, and some of them were poisoned, and they lived a life of oppression. But you're residing in a castle. And some simple-minded Shia, even today you have some people like that. They don't look into what's really happening. And the Imam said to them, I'm a prisoner. Even though I'm in a castle, but I'm a prisoner. Whoever comes to me is reported to Ma'mun. Whoever asks me a question is reported to Ma'mun. Ma'mun was very smart to contain the movement, that is the movement of Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdalus salati wassalam. And get the Shia in line, he has to bring the leader of the Shia to come into the castle and be announced as Wali al-Ahd, forcefully. So this is the life of Imam al-Rida. And Imam al-Rida had to leave this life. Imam al-Rida alayhi afdalus salati wassalam, on many occasions, Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. What Ma'mun wanted to do is to embarrass the Imam, is to put Imam into shame, is to show the people that this is not the right Imam. Because the Imam, what is the belief of a Shia when it comes to Imam? We have how many Imams? Hassan, 12. So what do we believe when we come to the Imams? We believe the Imam is what? Infallible. That is one. What does infallible mean? That means he's ma'soom. That means he doesn't make any mistakes. He doesn't sin. He doesn't have any errors. He's perfect, sinless. He's infallible. We are what? We are fallible. That is the opposite. We make mistakes, we lie, we cheat, we gossip, we eat haram sometimes we don't know. Yes? And the other things fall in with our daily routines. We are different than the Imam. Imam is the most knowledgeable. That is the second thing. Imam knows ilm al-ghayb. Imam is appointed by Allah the Almighty. Not by people. We don't go to the voting booth and we put the name of the person that we want to vote as our leader. No, that doesn't happen. We don't have different candidates. So the Imam is appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam raised the hand of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, and he said, "Man kuntu mawlah fahada Aliyun mawlah. Allahumma wali man walah wa adi man adah wansur man nasarah wa khudhul man khadhalah." A person came in Medina after this event, this occasion, this beautiful occasion of Ghadir, Khom, in the pound of Ghadir. He came to the Prophet and he said to the Prophet, listen to this. He said to the Prophet, alayhi salatu wassalam, "You told us to fast." We started fast. He was one of the Arabs. "You told us to go to Hajj, to go to the pilgrimage. We're going to Hajj. You told us to pay zakat. We're paying zakat. You told us to pray. We are praying." That wasn't enough until you came and appointed your cousin Ali as our leader. Is this from you or from God? Hal hada min indika min Allah. This is a hadith. And the Prophet looked at him and he said, this hadith is narrated by Salman al-Farisi, aka Salman al-Muhammadi. He said that this man, he asked the Prophet, he said, "Is this from you or from God the Almighty?" This person, this individual was respectful. We have another one, but we don't have the time to talk about him. This person, he was respectful. He said, "Is this from you or from God? That you raised the hand of your cousin, and that wasn't enough until you brought your cousin to become our leader? Is this from you or from God?" Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam said to him, "For everything there is a master." For everything there is a master. We have how many months in the Islamic calendar? 12. The master of all these 12 months is the month of Ramadan, Shahr Ramadan al-Mubarak. How many books we have? Thousands, millions. The master of all the books that we have is the Quran, the holy book, Quran al-Kareem. The Prophet is saying that to him, Sayyidul Kutub al-Quran al-Kareem. And the Prophet said to him, and the master of all animals is the king of them, that is the lion king. And he said to him, the master of all birds is eagle. And then the Prophet said to him, and I am the master of all the prophets, 124,000 prophets, and Ali is the master of all of the awsiya. So Allah appoints the imams. Let's go back to Ma'mun. What did Ma'mun do? Ma'mun asked all the scholars of different religions to come into Khurasan and debate the imam. And the idea behind that was to embarrass the Imam, to put the Imam into shame. Imam cannot answer the question. That was what he thought. Imam cannot answer the questions, and the Imam is going to be embarrassed, and then everyone going to say, is this your Imam? He has no idea. But what Ma'mun did was to prove the Imam of the Imam more than ever. When they all came and they said to the Imam, are you going to start or we going to start? The Imam said to them, start. Some of the scholars, they were the scholars of Christians. Others were the scholars of the Jews. And the Imam debated them according to their book. Not to the Quran, because when you're debating a Christian, you say, well, in Bahar al-Anwar says that. The Christian tells you, I don't believe in your book. In the Quran, I don't believe. Yet you bring me your hadith. But what the Imam did was, he debated them according to their own books. He debated the Jews according to their book, that is the Torah, and he debated the Christians according to their book, that is Injil, the Bible. To which one of the debates was like that. The Imam said to the scholar of the Christians, I have one problem with your Jesus. That's what the Imam said to him. He said, what is that? He said, Isa did not pray. Isa did not fast that much. He said, that makes us different. Isa prayed and Isa fasted. He was the most of the people at his time who supplicated. He was the most of the people at this time who was a abid or a worshipper. And then the Imam said to him, for who did he worship? Because you say Isa is son of God. The Imam, what he's saying to him is that if Isa worshipped, and you're saying he did it extensively more than anyone else, who did he worship? If he's son of God, is he worshiping himself? Then he's not son of God. He is merely a servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He debated them according to their books, according to their own traditions, to their own ideologies. And he brought down these scholars to the point that all said to him, in front of Ma'mun, truly Allah knows how to appoint his Imam. And we're saying this not from the side of the Muslims, from other religions. Allah knows how to appoint their Imams. And of course the prophets. Imam Ali ibn Musa Rida alayhi afdalus salati wassalam lived this life. So Ma'mun was different. He was very smart to the point that he brought the Imam into Khurasan and he thought that I can bring him down from within. But backfired. Ma'mun later on came to his senses. I made the biggest mistake of my life bringing him here, and everyone now can see that I am the one who is wrong. So he went into thinking how to kill the Imam alayhi afdalus salati wassalam. This is the first part of the lecture. The second part that is very important, that I want you to pay attention to this, is this. Now, we celebrate the birthdays of the Imams. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We have more than anyone else on earth, any other religions. I'm not just saying among the Muslims, any other religions with festivals and the birthdays and the martyrdoms and the daily, maybe some of the Husayniyah, some of the centers, they have daily lectures. If we don't have daily lectures, we have once a week or once a month. Then we have Muharram, then we have Safar, then we have the birthdays of the Imams and the birthday of the Ma'sumeen, so on and so forth. We come here, we celebrate, we bring their names, we recite some poems, and that is good. This is one of the part that we have to hold on to don't lose our identity. That is very important, especially for the youngsters, for them to understand who their role models are. Last week we spoke about the ladies, of how we have role models from the ladies' side that are both role models for the man and the female, for man and woman. There are Fatima al-Ma'sooma, Sayyida al-Mu'mineen Khadija, and so on and so forth. Now when it comes to our Imams, this is one thing. The Imam is infallible. We go inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ziyarah of Imam Ali ibn Musa Rida alayhi afdalus salati wassalam in this life and his intercession in the next life. When you go to the ziyarah and you see this beautiful shrine, it's a truly magnificent sight. When you stand there, you see the dome of Imam al-Rida. when you stand there and you recite, Assalamu alayka ya Ali ibn Musa al-Rida. You say, I came all the way from Australia, 14, 15 hours of flight. I came here, I'm tired, but I came to once again pledge my allegiance to you, Ya Ali ibn Musa al-Rida. This is the part that we all hold on to. But what is the requirements of the Imams from us? What are the expectations of the Imams from us? Now I say, I'm a Shia. I have the name of Ali, I have the name of Hassan, I have the name of Hussein, I have the name of Zahra, Zainab, and I say I am the Shia of Ali ibn Abi Talib, I'm a follower of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Is that enough? To just say, I love Ali, I am a follower of Hussein, is that enough? Definitely not. There are expectations from the Imams, alayhim afdalus salati was salam, that are put into place. And we have to abide to them. So this brings us to this section of the lecture. And that is Abdul Azim al-Hassani. Abdul Azim al-Hassani, he's the fourth in line, the fourth grandson of Imam al-Hassan al-Mushtaba. Imam Hassan al-Mushtaba. And Abdul Azim al-Hassani, as is narrated, he was in the era of four of the Imams. Four Imams. One of them was Imam al-Rida, alayhi afdalus salati wassalam, and we have a hadith, Man zara Abdul Azim bi-Ray, kaman zara al-Husayn bi-Karbala. Whoever goes and visits Abdul Azim al-Hassani in Ray, that is in Tehran, near Tehran there's a city called Ray, it's like as if he has done the visitation, the ziyarah of Imam al-Husayn, alayhi afdalus salati wassalam, in Karbala. When he came to Abdul Azim al-Hassani, they respected him, the Imams, and they called him Ya Abul Qasim, and they also referred to him as Waliullah. Imam al-Rida writes to him a letter, and he says to Abdul Azim al-Hassani, Ya Abdul Azim, Abligh anni awliyai as-salam. And the Imam is saying salam, greetings to the awliya. That means the Shia, the one they come and say, Imam al-Rida is my Imam. Because Imam al-Rida, also on top of what Ma'mun did to Imam al-Rida, Imam al-Rida had to live a life of the people that came and they said, there is no Imam after Imam al-Kadhim. Ali ibn Abd al-Hamz al-Bata'ini, he came and he said that there is no Imam after Imam al-Kadhim, al-Waqifiyya. And they said there is no Imam after him because of the money he had from Imam al-Kadhim, this man. And he refused the Imam of Imam al-Kadhim, Imam al-Rida, alayhi afdalus salati wassalam. And he said that Imam al-Kadhim is still alive and he's well, even though Imam al-Kadhim was martyred. So Imam al-Rida, alayhi afdalus salati wassalam, he had to live this life. On top of what he had to deal with Ma'mun al-Abbas, he had to deal with this movement that vanished after that. So with Imam al-Rida, first he says to Abdul Azim al-Hassani, I send my regard, my greetings to the Shia, to the awliya, and وَقُلْ لَهُمْ, and say to them, أَنْ لَا يَجْعَلُوا لِلشَّيْطَانِ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ سَبِيلًا. Beautiful, beautiful letter from Imam al-Rida alayhi afdalus salati wassalam. So what is required from us as followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdalus salati wassalam? The Imam says, number one is that when a person sits down, an individual, he sees which gate shaitan opens and reaches out to him. Everyone is different. Everyone is different. The poor is tested differently than the wealthy. The poor is tested according to his patience. He doesn't have money. Allah comes and tests this individual according to his patience. The wealthy is tested differently. He's tested according to giving out the right of Islam, giving out zakat, khumus, giving out the right places, fi haramiha iqab wa fi halaliha hisab. And with other individuals, everyone is tested differently. As it's narrated, I think by Sheikh Al-Ansari, he says that I saw the devil who was holding different types of ropes in his hand and different chains, and he was pulling them. different types of ropes and different chains. It's narrated by Sheikh Al-Ansari in a book that he says that he saw the devil in that situation. He was holding different of them, and every one of them was different color, different type of ropes, and different color, and different, thickness. One of them was thick, one of them was very, very thin, and he also had different types of chains, and he was pulling them. So he asked him, he said, what are those? He said, everyone is different. Some people, they have religion, they have faith. They abide to their understanding of their religion, and they have standards. So I see what brings this person to me. So I use different types of what? Ghawa, and I bring him. Shaitan is an enemy, and I see what brings this individual to my side. That rope is for him. A person, for example, he's founded by money, seeking wealth. So I go after that. Different individual, he's after woman. He's looking right and left. Even if he's married, he's looking right and left, looking for different types of haram. I go after that. Everyone is different. Some of them are more religious, so I have to use bigger chains for me to pull them to my side. This individual asked the Shaitan, he said, what about me? Which one is mine? He said, you don't have any of that. I don't need to use any of these ropes or any of these chains. You, as soon as I do this, I say, come to me, you come running. I don't know if you have seen children, when they start to walk, the father or the mother, they stand and say, come to me, and they run. He says, I just do that, come to me, and you run toward me. So what Imam Rida said to this man, to Abdul Azim al-Hassan, he says, look at what Shaitan finds and brings you to the batil side, to the wrong side. And he brings you to become astray. Close that gate. Close it. That's number one. Number two, وَمُرْهُمْ بِالصِّدْقِ فِي الْحَدِيثِ وَأَدَاءِ الْأَمَانَةِ. And tell them, order them, the Imam says. When he says murhum, that means what? Order them, بالصدق, to be truthful and trustworthy. When we refer to the Prophet ﷺ, Khatamul Anbiya, what do we say? As-Sadiqul Ameen. Even in that time, the time of Jahiliyyah, the pre-Islamic time, the time of ignorance, the Prophet was known as As-Sadiq Al-Ameen. He says, tell them, order them to be truthful and be trustworthy. What else does the Imam say? وَمُرْهُمْ بِالسُّكُوتِ وَتَرْكِ الْجِدَالِ فِيمَا لَا يُعْنِيهِمْ. This one sentence, I love for all the sentences, to write it down with gold, even if it's silver is fine, and put it on all the walls when you come in and you read it. Let's read that one again. وَمُرْهُمْ بِالسُّكُوتِ وَتَرْكِ الْجِدَالِ فِيمَا لَا يُعْنِيهِمْ. If he's sitting down with his friends and they talk about politics, he's one of the most knowledgeable people when it comes to politics. Henry Kissinger is sitting right there with you. When you talk with him about economy, he has done degrees in economy. When you talk with him about food, he is a dietitian. When you talk about him about, building, he is the most knowledgeable person with buildings, and people are like that. With everything, he has to give his input. That I believe that, I think that. Al-mu'min muljam. We have a hadith that says, Al-mu'min muljam. Lijam, if you've been to horseback riding, if you haven't, go. It's very nice. You will love it. When you sit down, they teach you. They tell you, this is a leash. Yeah? And they tell you, this leash is very important. You cannot ride a horse without a leash. Because this leash, when you pull it, the horse stops. If you pull it to the right, the horse goes right. If you pull it to the left, it goes left. If you pull both of them, the horse stops right there. But if you leave the leash, just leave it. the horse goes right, goes left. If even there is a valley, it will go right into the valley. Doesn't know. It's a horse. Al-mu'min muljam. A mu'min, a believer, is what? A person with a leash. He's sitting down, even if he has some idea of what they're talking, he doesn't interfere. The Imam said, وَمُرْهُمْ بِالسُّكُوتِ. Be silent. You don't have to give your input with everything, about everything. وَتَرْكِ الْجِدَالِ فِي مَا لَا يُعْنِيهِمْ. And for them not to debate on everything. And if you see the most problems, the biggest problems among couples, man and wife, is that jidal. Your mother said that, your father said that. He invited this person first, he invited that person first. He gave that person this, he gave that person. He invited us and he gave us that food, he gave them that food. He gave our son this gift, and one thing leads to another until you see them come into the courthouse for divorce. Why? Because one thing led to another and we are here. Jidal. They talk. Especially if that is nothing to do with them. The Imam Ali afdhalu salati was salam is saying that to Abdul Azim al-Hassani, Ridwanullah ta'ala alayh, Imam Ali ibn Musa al-Rida. We are here celebrating the birthday of Imam al-Rida. But let's see the expectation of the Imam from us. The Imam is saying to us, first of all, be silent. You don't have to talk about everything. Just listen. Another thing, don't debate. When you see at home, you are talking left and right, right and left. Right. Where are you going with this? What is the whole reason of this? And sometimes you find this whole talking, this whole chatter is all childish. Has nothing to do with what adults do. Most of the time it's better to look away. The Imam Ali afdhalu salati was salam also says, وَإِقْبَالْ بَعْضِهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ وَالْمُزَاوَرَ فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ قُرْبَةٌ إِلَيْهِ. Now, we are afraid, and this is before COVID-19, to invite our friends to the house or our family members. This is before COVID-19. COVID-19 gave us a very good reason. Oh, I can't invite you because of COVID. But before that, we are afraid to invite one another. We think, oh, if I invite him, I have to spend a lot of money. No. Believe me, brothers and sisters, even 1 cup of tea or 1 cup of water, just inviting your friend, your family member to the house and having that healthy relationship and building on it. For the community to become stronger. We are the community that believes in the Imam of our time, Imam Sahib al-Asri was Zaman, alayhi afdhalu salati was salam. When the Imam comes and sees this community that, says that it's a Shia of Ali, but they have no smell. There's no smell. There is no identity left. It's just names. In the end of time, there is a hadith in Kashkul, in the book of Kashkul, that says the mosque are built beautifully. The architecture is unbelievable, but it's empty. The book is left aside. That is Quran al-Kareem. And people, they forget the rights of one another. Imam here is referring to the rights, the huquq of your brothers, of your sisters. And the Imam Ali afdhalu salati was salam says, وَلَا يَشْغَلُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ بِتَمْزِيقِ بَعْضِهُمْ بَعْضًا. Listen to this part, that we bring our friend, the one day he was my friend and now he's my enemy for some reason, and I tore that person into pieces. And the Imam says, فَإِنِّي آلَيْتُ عَلَى نَفْسِي أَنَّهُ مَنْ فَعَلَ ذَلِكَ وَأَسْخَطَ وَلِيًّا مِنْ أَوْلِيَائِي دَعَوْتُ اللَّهِ لِيُعَذِّبَهُ فِي الدُّنْيَا أَشَدَّ الْعَذَابِ. What? Your friend comes and he enters, and I've seen this before many times, unfortunately, in many centers, a person who has dedicated his life or her life in the community, building the community, suddenly he's loathed. No one likes him, no one talks to him. For some reason that is not justable. There is no justice behind it. احمل أخيك على 70 محمل, the Imam says. Imam al-Sadiq refers to this in one of my lectures. I mentioned this. احمل عقيقك على 70 محمل. Imam al-Sadiq says that. And if you don't find one of these 70 mahmel, that means 70 excuses, make one for him. Make one for her. The Imam said. And the Imam here, Imam Rida, refers to this. That they bring one another and they told them بتمزيق بعضهم بعضا. It's like taking a piece of paper and you rip it into pieces. He's a friend, he's your cousin, he's your relative, she's your relative. But because of one negotiation, one debate between one another, and it doesn't go according to your liking, you bring the individual down to the part that he is or she is disgraced. You belittle them. No one likes them. No one talks to them. And you see sometimes in the community, some people, they say, I don't want to go to the center. I don't want to go to the mosque. And I say this with a broken heart, that we find many of the mosques, many of the centers, many of the places we call places of worship. And the whole reason for this place is to bring the community together, becomes the reason or the sole excuse to push everyone aside and bring everyone down. This is not a place that you call place of worship. It's not doing its part. When a person calls a masjid, a mosque, the mosque of Imam al-Rida, the place when he enters it has to have the name of Imam al-Rida and the ideology of Imam al-Rida. Everyone is welcomed, whoever that person is. And the Imam says, فَإِنِّي آلَيْتُ. The Imam swears and he says, I swear upon myself, على نفسي أنه من فعل ذلك وأسخط وليا من أوليائي دعوت الله ليعذبه في الدنيا أشد العذاب وكان في الآخرة من الخاسرين. Imam says, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to punish that individual. If that individual is the reason for that person to be disgraced or to put into shame or to be embarrassed in the community. مزقه, tore him apart. Find an excuse for that person. That's why we have سوء الظن وحسن الظن. That سوء الظن that we always see the bad side of people must be pushed aside, and we bring that حسن الظن, that kind of a good, looking at the positive side of people and bringing everyone to the community, everyone to the center. Because these centers, and I say this, don't get me wrong, these centers don't belong to any individual. They belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first, and to the holy progeny of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when you enter a place, you have to be feeling welcome. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we have this in this center, we have it in many of the centers. Sometimes we have it in some places that are not doing the part right. They're not doing the part right. And this is what the Imam says. وَإِنِّي آلَيْتُ عَلَى نَفْسِي فَإِنِّي آلَيْتُ عَلى نَفْسِي أَنَّهُ مَنْ فَعَلَ ذَلِكَ وَأَسْقَطَ وَلِيًّا مِنْ أَوْلِيَائِ دَعَوْتُ اللَّهِ لِيُعَذِّبَهُ. This is what is required by the Imam, from the Imam, that he asked the Shia to fall in line. Don't just call yourself the follower of Ali and you don't have these standards. Knowing the haqq and the batil, that is the first, and knowing the huquq, the rights of your fellow individual, the fellow Shia, the fellow brother and sister. This is why we have Risalat al-Huquq of Imam Zain al-Abidin, 51 rights. And Imam alayhi afdhalu salati wassalam here talks about this part, and this is the expectations of Imam alayhi afdhalu salati wassalam, Imam Ali ibn Musa al-Rida, غريب طوس وأنيس النفوس وشمس الشموس, from the Shia. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ni'mah, the blessing, inshallah, to go to the ziyarah of Imam al-Rida alayhi afdhalu salati wassalam and reach his intercession, his shafa'ah in the hereafter. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. اللهم صل على علي بن موسى الرضا المرتضى الإمام التقي النقي، وحجتك على من فوق الأرض ومن تحت الثرى، الصديق الشهيد، صلاة كثيرة تامة زاكية متواصلة متواترة مترادفة كأفضل ما صليت على أحد من أوليائك. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا، حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا يا رب الحسين. بحق الحسين اشفي صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا مفيد يا غفور يا ودود، اغننا بحلالك عن حرامك، وبطاعتك عن معصيتك، وبفضلك عمن سواك، برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. الفاتحة قبلها الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.